The moment we power up our keyboard, the default sound we hear is the piano. This is also known as a voice. Voice is just a term for the actual instrument sound, and your keyboard has hundreds of different voices on it. To access the voices, we press the Voice button. And we can see on the right-hand side of the keyboard, under the heading Voice, all the various voice categories. So for instance, sounds 001 to 006 are all piano-related voices. And by scrolling using the minus and plus buttons, we can see the various voices moving up. Now for instance, maybe I want to call up a guitar voice. I can see that the guitar voices are located in banks 029 to 038. So I can either call up using the keypad 029, or if I was at a lower voice, I can scroll up to 029. And now I'll call up my classical guitar. Now maybe I want to try another voice, like the flute. Well, the flute's located in banks 084 to 088. Once again, using the keypad, 084, and we can see the flute comes up. What about a drum voice? Drum voices are located over here, 109 to 121. This time I'm going to use the plus-minus buttons. Hold down the plus, and at 109 I have a standard drum kit. Now there's something else I'd like to point out to you. We can see on the keyboard various symbols over here. Now these symbols are actually related to the drum sounds. So for instance, over here you can see hands clapping. And when I push this key, you can hear the voice of the hands clapping. Over here I have the kick drum. Over here I have the snare drum. So all these are the various symbols to represent the drums. Here's a tip for you. By pushing the minus and plus button at the same time, it brings us back to the default voice again, which is grand piano. Now also related to the voice section are two buttons here, one called dual and the other one called split. Dual voice means that we can actually have two voices or two instruments playing at exactly the same time across the whole range of the keyboard. Right now, you can hear the piano. But the moment I press the dual voice button, you can hear piano and strings together. Now if we look in the screen, we can also see that the word dual appears. And if I turn off the button, dual disappears. So this is telling us that the dual voice feature is engaged. Now underneath the dual voice, we have a finger icon. And what this means is, by holding down the button for a couple of seconds, it takes us to another section related to that feature. So right now, we have chamber, which means this is the dual voice, the string. And by using the plus-minus buttons, we can change the dual voice to any sound that we want. Now we're going to talk about the split voice. Split voice means that instead of running the two voices across the whole range of the keyboard, we're going to split the keyboard at a split point. In this case, it says F# 2. Why do we want to have a split voice? Well, this would be used maybe using a jazz ensemble. And what I'll do is call up my piano voice using the grand piano button right here. and I'm going to push split to make sure it's activated. And once again, I can see in the screen the word split show up. And now, from this side down, I have a bass, and from this side up, I have a piano. There you go, dual and split voice.